Well, we'll go ahead and jump in here and get started. Naturally, as the mayor said, first of all, thank you for having us here. We have 34 of these units around the country, and a special thanks to City of Oak Ridge for bringing this out, and to our team here in the Rural Metro Fire for putting the fire out, because naturally we couldn't do this without them. But we've tested this furniture all over the country. This is new furniture. That's one of the hazards. Not only the space heater, obviously in this case it's misplaced, and so somebody gets up. This is to simulate that we throw a blanket over the top of it, that when you got up off the couch to answer the door, go get something, it's like you just flip that down over this space heater, and this will show you. If it's not Underwriters Laboratory listed, if it's not listed by an agency, those kind of things, this is to show you. Now the other piece too is we have, naturally this don't typically set out with an 8-foot opening, but in this case it will have to do. So we'll go ahead and fire up the space heater. This is like, again, you got up off the couch, they've started the generator. We have the space heater on, so this could be a power outage. If you had a power outage, your space heater was plugged up, you went off and left it plugged up and turned on. That's another common cause of what we see when we investigate fires from space heaters, is the fact that you left it plugged up, the power went out, the power came on, and some condition changed. So we already can see that this blanket that we've thrown over when we got up out of the chair off the couch is starting to draw up. So again, this is synthetic materials, which is one of the things that's changed a lot over the course of time, and this furniture is going to contribute significantly to the fire. So a lot of people think, well, with fire I have a lot of time, I have time to get out. Our message here is get out, stay out, and close the door on the way out. Get out, stay out, close the door on the way out, because it limits the amount of oxygen. So you can see that it's melting down. But again, you could have all kinds of fire types with a discarded cigarette, a candle, those kind of things. And again, as you watch this space heater, if it's UL listed, the space heater will trip now because it has sensed too much heat in it, and it would shut off regardless of whether you turned it off or not, which is probably what the case is here now. Is that this trip, the shunt trip in there said this space heater is overheated, and again, you haven't seen any smoke because this synthetic material has melted down. So if you had a candle, if you had a discarded smoking materials, another common cause of fire that turned over beside the couch here, discard things in a waste paper basket. We see that on the outside of the, and now you start to see the smoke. So with this smoke, it's like that smoke's going to fill up the space. So there's our smoke alarm. So smoke alarm is important. Again, get out, stay out, and close the door. And then the fire, you see this fire develop, but as you watch the fire develop here, you start to see things fall off the wall, and you think, all right, I got time to get out. Well, this fire, I want you to watch. I've got a newspaper laying on the floor in front of this. And this is where we have to be careful with even crawl low under smoke. So if you could imagine that smoke now going out into the house, not going out an 8-foot opening, it's going out into the house. And when it does, that's filling up other space. That smoke is fuel. And so that smoke will start to contribute to this fire. So again, if you can get out, but we forget about pets, we forget about people with disabilities. And again, you see the back of the space heater starting to go and catch under the curtain. So if the couch caught fire first, then I want you to pay particular, because you can see on the floor underneath that space heater now where it's burning significantly and contributed to the fire in between those two chairs. But now we're starting to see it's over 1,000 degrees in that room. And again, over here you can see that our thermocouple, it's done put it out. It was over 750 degrees at the top of that chair. But now watch this chair. It just starts, it's not even in the flame, but look at my newspaper on the floor. The newspaper has caught fire. That's what we know as flashover. So we'll let our firefighters put that out. And again, just in a short period of time. So we're not even 3 minutes into this fire. So 2 minutes and 55 seconds, the entire room was on fire. And again, this causes problems for our firefighters because again, here we had the smoke alarm, get out, stay out, and close the door. But as our firefighters respond, if their average response time is 6 to 10 minutes, you was only 3 minutes into this fire. And so with this now, this puts our firefighters at greater risk. It puts our citizens at greater risk. And this is what we know is destroyed. Everything in this room now is destroyed. That would have put that smoke out, and we know that furniture would fill up a 3,200 square foot house in less than 5 minutes. And again, this is destroyed. So we would call our partners in the water restoration industry, and they would come and clean this up. But again, this takes things off the property tax rolls. It puts people out of their homes. It destroys things that cannot be replaced. It drives up our insurance costs and again puts firefighters at risk. Over 600 firefighters a year now are dying because of cancer. We've been exposed to this for years during overhaul operations. And again, you see them. We'll let them make sure this is put completely out again. There's some drywall collapsing. And again, smoke alarms and firefighters in this case put the fire. Smoke alarms warn us. Firefighters put the fire out. So we'll let them make sure this fire's out, and then we'll come over to this side.
Shane, I'm gonna hop back here if that's okay. Ready to? Yes, now. We're gonna just let that stare directly in the left. Actually, Mr. Rake, if you can, lick Sam right next to me over there someplace. I'll walk over to you. Yeah, cool. All right. Is that cool, Jim? Is that good? We're good. Okay. All right. So as you can see, all of that happened in less than 3 minutes. Over 1,000 degrees. These synthetic materials was toxic. Very bad situation. One you can avoid in tight, being as safe as possible. Make sure the space heater is in good working order. Make sure you all tested that it has safety shut off and shut off. And so don't put your space heater around the bus wheelchair in the base. It was maybe blanket that caused the fire. And most importantly, don't leave the space heater on. Don't put it back in the space heater. Unfortunately, sometimes no matter what you do, accidents happen. I'm with Shane Ray, who is with the National Fire Extinguisher Association. And in this situation, we saw the firemen coming out and putting the fire out. 3 minutes, no matter how good our fire department is, unless you live right next to it, they're probably not going to be able to help you. But there is some technology that can help us in case they end up in a situation. Hopefully not, in case there's a situation like that. Tell us about the fire sprinkler technology. So it's kind of later protection. So the fire alarm, let's get Yeah, primary.
Oh, okay.
Fire suppressor, fire.
Yeah, I may do
How expensive are fire? Especially when let's take a look. See what happens with fire today.
Yeah.
Hey, you can give me 1 minute. Just get some light shot.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive, wasn't it? Figure out yeah. Try to bolt it on the gear belt and all this is electric brake. Do what? This is going to give us a lot of stock this week for our library and video stuff. And we create some brake applications for distribute people.
Yeah.
This is stuff like
Yeah. We did a second one.
so all these grants, we're not grants for these resources, their trailer and our trailers that we have. It's all that way where you go to share your resources. And that's what we're going to do. Regional conference, that we get fixed some of the smaller departments and things like this. That we can take our kids to them. We can go to the school, we can go to the schools, we can help them get a program on the ground. Because we think sometimes we get stuck in the equal resources to have nice video or make it. We'll probably
All right, we will go ahead and fire up the generator here, and we'll do the same scenario as you. We'll get the same effect, and again, that's where we try to duplicate these fire scenarios. Again, this furniture here was ordered, shipped straight to your home, put together. It's brand new furniture, just like the furniture, just from a different type of manufacturer. Again, you get up, you throw your blanket off. Space heaters, 3 foot clearance, that's a key. Keep it 3 feet away. Make sure that, again, if you go out, turn it off. Don't sleep with it, as the mayor reminded you. Do not sleep with your space heater on. Because again, you can see the blanket drawing up as we speak. And these fires, what you don't know, it could ignite in 2 minutes, or it could take 20 minutes or 30 minutes before the fire starts. But as you've seen in the other scenario, it's the time from when the fire starts to grow that it closes your window to escape. Now in this scenario, the room has fire sprinklers. So we have smoke alarms, which have been required by the building code since the 90s. Hardwired, that means when one of the smoke alarms go off, they all go off. But that's not the case with the fire sprinklers. So the next component, you have smoke alarms, now you have fire sprinklers. Only the sprinkler closest to the fire is going to activate. They are individually heat activated. It takes 155 degrees, and as you'll see in this scenario, just like the other, it takes a significant fire to set the sprinkler off. You can't burn the toast and make the sprinkler go off. You can't light your wood-burning fire in the house and make the sprinkler go off. Only when that sprinkler device itself gets to 155 degrees will it go off. And so with that, we're going to do just like we did this last fire. This blanket is melting. You could again have other discarded materials. You could have a candle. You could have discarded smoking materials, the things that our wonderful fire investigators find that cause these fires. But here we have a fire that's lit by the space heater. It's overheated in the back. It's too close to the furniture. and with that, it causes a fire. So now you see the smoke start to grow in the room. Just like our last fire, this smoke starts to grow. It climbs up the curtains. It's caught the trash can on fire behind the space heater. And so there you hear our smoke alarm. That's your early warning. Again, people that can get out, stay out, close the door. But what about our pets? What about people with disability? What about people that can't self-evacuate their home? But now you can see how big this fire has grown, and it's 150 degrees at the top, 160. And there the fire sprinkler activates. And again, only the sprinkler in that room would activate. They don't all go off. So you got some water damage. The other room you've seen, it's destroyed. This room has damage that we can clean up. And again, the sprinkler in your house is designed to contain the fire to that room while the fire department is responding. So now the fire department starts to respond. This is to keep the fire in check. It gives people time to get out, and it gives the fire department time to arrive. Our slogan is fire sprinklers buy time, time buys life. In this, when the fire department arrives on the scene, they can turn the water off and then go in and make sure that the fire is completely put out. And that's what they'll do here. He'll make sure that the fire is out. That sprinkler flowed 13 gallons of water a minute. And in your house, it's only designed for 2 sprinklers to operate. So 26 gallons a minute is the total flow. Our firefighters flowed 150 plus gallons a minute. They would have multiple hose lines. And again, you see destruction versus damage. We have our partners in the water restoration industry. Again, our partner here, ServPro. ServPro can come out, they'll have this clean and put back to normal. They isolate this. If this is in an apartment complex or a condominium or a high-rise unit, they would isolate this damage, put everybody back into business, back into their home, and then we would work with the insurance company to make sure we got this restored and put back together. And again, you save property, you save lives, you save the environment, you save the tax roll. There's so many benefits to this multi-layered partnership of fire and life safety. And again, the key here is our room never became not survivable. So people, pets, this was still a survivable environment. And again, only the sprinkler closest to the fire activates. So. And thank you again to everybody. Thank you, Mayor, for the opportunity, and thank you for the leadership of promoting fire safety.
Jim, can we do like a